The Hill has a report that Mike Pence is quietly running things at the White House. Yeah, that sounds about right. So they explain here, one White House insider who was granted anonymity to speak candidly said, quote, "You cannot lie to the vice president, to Mike Pence, and expect to survive. With all the personalities in the Oval Office and the fact that people are trying to find out what Steve Bannon, Kellyanne Conway, and Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law and senior advisor, are actually doing, Pence has been just quietly going about his job of being vice president, building on his relationships with Capitol Hill, as well as just being a solid foundation at the White House." Here's why this story is important. We have another Dick Cheney. Now, before you say that's an exaggeration and Mike Pence is obviously not as bad as Darth Cheney, just understand that Mike Pence recently said, this was a big news story, that his model as a vice president was Dick Cheney. So now I consider it, game, set, match on this point. It's over. If he says I'm modeling my vice presidency after Dick Cheney, and now we have reports directly from top White House officials saying, okay, he's really secretly running things. Pence is secretly running things. And then on top of that, remember that there was the story that came out after Trump got the nomination for the Republican Party that he secretly reached out to John Kasich. His people reached out to Kasich's people and said, look, here's the deal. We actually want you to be vice president, and with you being vice president, we want you to, be president. And Trump will go around the country and give speeches and give rallies and, rile the American people up, and you actually dot all the I's and cross all the T's and do all the hard work of being president. And John Kasich was like, how about fuck no? I want nothing to do with Trump. So with all these stories put together, I think it's rather clear that, Pence is probably really running stuff. And a lot of partisan Democrats, I think, will celebrate this because they go, Trump's so bad, Trump's so evil and horrible in so many ways. But you have to understand, Pence is Trump minus getting rid of TPP, because he's for TPP, and then plus a smile and a more intellectual face on all the horrific policies. That's what Mike Pence is. Mike Pence gave a speech in Congress explaining how he credits his success to Rush Limbaugh for being elected, because they were all part of the Rush Limbaugh wave when they came in the 1990s, when Rush Limbaugh was actually popular on talk radio. He also gave speeches railing against the teaching of evolution and saying we have to allow in intelligent design as well, because evolution is just a theory. It's just a theory. So this guy is a Christian fundamentalist, right-wing talk radio Kool-Aid drinking lunatic. And you look at his voting record is as bad as it gets. His voting record is right up there with Jeff Sessions in terms of how much it makes you want to facepalm. It's hard to find a single goddamn thing that Mike Pence is right about. So you have a guy with an odious, toxic ideology, but he's able to keep it together more. He's not Trump. He's not impulsive. He doesn't fly off the handle. He doesn't shoot from the hip. He puts that fake smile on and that fake rhythm and cadence in how he talks, and he acts like a standard politician, and behind the scenes, he's screwing you. So I don't celebrate the fact that Mike Pence is, actually running things, because there were flickers of hope with Trump, whether it be TPP and he did the right thing on that, or whether it be the fact that all the shit, everybody's like, Russia, Trump's so weak on Russia. No, I'm much more scared of the opposite happening, which is everybody insisting Trump is so weak on Russia that he flies off the handle and he's more aggressive, and then we escalate further towards World War III. What I'm afraid of is Pence, who in the VP debate was crystal clear that he agrees with the standard Republican position and the John McCain and Lindsey Graham position of escalating further with Russia. With that guy really controlling the White House, you should fear more escalation with Russia than anything else. So you should be yearning for, Trump to have the connections with Russia, because even if it's for corrupt reasons, at least we're not going to escalate to World War III. So I think Pence is actually worse, and a lot of people would vehemently disagree with me on that. But my point is, you only think that because of surface reasons. See, Trump wears the crazy on his sleeve. He's impulsive. He can't control himself. He shoots from the hip. You know, he acts like a straight shooter, even though he's not, and he's bullshitting most of the time. But he talks like, I can't, I'm just going to talk. That's what I'm going to do. Tremendous. So you see the unhinged nature of Trump, and you say that has to correlate to all the policies. But I just explained to you, Trump is actually better on TPP. Trump is actually better on Russia and Syria at times. Trump is better with infrastructure spending. If we get Pence, and Pence is really running the shit behind the scenes, he's worse on Russia. He's for TPP and all these trade deals. He doesn't want to do an infrastructure bill. So you get, I think, worse with Mike Pence. So I do not celebrate this story at all. And remember, Pence was in Congress. So Pence, he knows people, man. Like, he knows all the politicians, all the Republicans, and he can rally them together. Whereas, you know, it would probably be a better thing to have an adversarial break in the party, this divide and conquer mentality where there's a break in the Republican Party. They can't get anything done because they're warring factions. Pence can unify the Republicans to get behind a shitty agenda, shittier than anything Trump would push, and push it through. So this is not good. We have another Dick Cheney in the White House. And remember, all those things that everybody was rightly mad at George Bush for, you were really mad at Cheney for them. Because it's been well documented that actually towards the end of Bush's time in office, he learned that Cheney had been basically jerking him around and really controlling shit. And then there was like a breakup in the relationship where Bush was like, fuck this guy, I don't want him around me. And Bush started making more decisions. And Bush, even though he's an idiot, he ain't the fucking dark Sith Lord like Dick Cheney is. So Dick Cheney really was the person who be the mastermind, although I hate that term, behind the Iraq War and all the hawkish policies and all the deregulation. Bush was like the useful idiot who was viewed in the scapegoat, and everybody gets mad at him. I'm not saying Bush was a good guy. I'm just saying that Cheney was the real one running shit, and that's what happened then. It's like we got the same thing now with buffoon Trump, who can easily be led by somebody who knows how to strategize properly, and Pence might be able to do that and get his even worse agenda implemented. So this is not news to celebrate.